Saturday morning, the Experts program kicks off, and that means our tech expert, Luis Alvarez, leads things off on Saturday mornings. Good morning, Luis.
Good morning, Mark. How are you today?
Doing pretty good. So we have some information here from Pew Research about teens, social media, and technology, and how kids are using social media today. And it looks like TikTok is at the top of the list for U.S. teens, but Facebook not so popular anymore.
No. So this is a study that was done back in 2015 originally, and then again this year. And in 2015, at the top of the stack, you wouldn't be surprised to find out that 71% of teens were using Facebook. And in 7 years, that's fallen to 32%. So Facebook has lost this big demographic of 13 to 17-year-olds. Those of us that are older still are on Facebook. We find it more conducive to our natural habits. But young kids are flocking to TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat. They like those platforms, and they're abandoning what's been around for a while. Even Twitter has fallen out of favor for young folks. So it's interesting that as technology has progressed and as these platforms have advanced, kids are going to platforms that seem to be of a shorter format. The things that appeal to people about TikTok is the video. Instagram is kind of the same thing. And you got these short little videos and pictures that you can look at. And Snapchat, things disappear if you don't look at them. So I don't know if that's indicative of something about our teens today, but it's
ADD.
Yeah, exactly. And what's even scarier is that teens are self-identifying of spending almost 35% of them say that they spend almost all their time on social media. And that's a scary proposition because this not a platform that's designed to be educational. It's more a platform designed to just capture your attention for a second and give you information that nobody else disputes.
So it's just something you ingest and there's no filters or gatekeeping whatsoever, which is typical of a lot of social media. So the TikTok thing is super popular. I remember last year, Facebook announcing that they were going to try and make their platform more appealing to younger users and less appealing to older users. I don't know if they're going to be able to be successful in that because once this type of a tectonic shift starts, it really gains a life of its own and it's hard to turn it around. I just wonder if they're tilting at windmills.
Yeah, and especially recently, Facebook, the smartest thing that Mark Zuckerberg did was buy Instagram when he did, because it's what's really carrying their brand right now. As Facebook, the platform, becomes less popular, Instagram continues to be very popular. But recently they have introduced some new features, which is kind of irritating people like me that enjoy going on Instagram, where now I have all these videos that I didn't really request to see popping up to my feed. And the idea behind that is that they want to be more TikTok-like so they can expose you to new things that might lead to more eyeballs on their platform. But to your point, it's kind of hard to change behavior of people who have already decided what you are, right? We get our first impression of something and it's hard to alter that impression or that mindset about something like Instagram or Facebook. If you're a teen and you say, well, that's old technology. My grandpa and my grandma's on there. I don't want to go out on there. I want to go someplace new.
Interesting demographic differences in teens' social media choices. Says that teen boys are more likely than teen girls to say they used YouTube, Twitch, and Reddit, whereas teen girls are more likely than teen boys to use TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Yeah, it was, when I was reading this article by Pew, I was surprised that they considered YouTube a social media platform because I don't really think of it that way. I think of it more as, at least the way I use YouTube, it's more of a place where you can go get information like how to change your carburetor in a car that's 30 years old because
right.
I don't know how to do that. But it turns out that there is a huge social media component to it that people are latching onto, and YouTube is becoming more popular. Like 95% of 13 to 17-year-olds go on YouTube to find videos and to learn about things. So it's a very, very popular platform.
Really interesting stuff here. And then if you happen to be Facebook or some of the older, if you're Facebook, you don't want to become MySpace, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But then it's still really popular. But I guess, it's like anything that appeals to an older demographic. They look at it like Zuckerberg and his people look at it and think to themselves, well, as these people age out and go away, who's going to replace them? Exactly. So they're naturally concerned about that. The other thing I thought was interesting was that both Zuckerberg, some of the other tech titans are talking about the fact they feel that they have too many employees, and particularly because not everybody's carrying their weight, that not everybody is as productive as they need to be, right? And so we may see, they talked about the headcount being too large, that there could be some job trimming in all these social media companies coming up here in the next few months.
Oh, yeah, we're already seeing it. I mean, if you looked at the unemployment numbers that were released last week, which were surprisingly high, buried inside of that was a net loss of like 68,000 tech jobs, because all these startups and all these big tech companies, when they are being evaluated, their stock price is being evaluated on growth, they don't care about profitability. So they hire staff, they overstaff because they're hoping to build new and better things with all that extra manpower. But as the market turns and says, no, we need to see you guys making money, they start cutting expenses. And what easier expense to cut than people? So you've seen a lot of tech companies up in the Bay Area slash, 22, 23% of their workforce. And that will probably continue through the rest of this year as folks start to get rid of the fat, if you will, and starting on their core business and growing that.
That's Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, joining us today on Power Talk. Online, it's alvareztg.com. At AlvarezTG, that is their Twitter handle. Luis, the toll-free number for the I-Team.
Give us a call at 866-78-I-TEAM. That's 866-784-8326.
All right, and coming up on Monday, we're going to be looking at an interesting phenomenon, and maybe you can tell the audience about it.
Well, yeah, we're going to be talking about a PG&E scam that is out there that you should be aware of to protect yourself and your money.
All right, that's Monday morning during the 8 o'clock hour as we tech talk here on Power Talk. Thank you, Luis, and have a great weekend.
You too, my friend. Take care.